Hello survivors, I'm the Survivalist, and welcome to our next Carnivore series on the channel, Carnivores Fallen Kings, the Mars Edition Engine Partial Beta. So, out of all the Carnivores mods and content that I have covered on the channel, there was one mod that I cut short in coverage just because it wasn't really in a great state of things, and that was the mod that was Carnivores Fallen Kings. It had you almost had to kit bash two different builds kind of together to get more of a full experience with it. But it's been a mod that's been getting a little bit of rework and retouches done thanks to Modder's Engine Edition, making a lot more possible. So this is one I wanted to come back because it's kind of one of the spots that I felt bad about covering Fallen Kings in the state it was in, but it has improved a fair bit. One thing I do want to bring up, because there's a Modder Engine Edition mod, it's probably best to have the density kept at the middle point here for all your Modder's Engine Edition mods, just unless you have on the download page about the mod, it's okay to crank the density up. Point being, there's a lot more endemic life, and there's some changes to the dinosaur and creature spawn system, I think, that probably cranking up the density might cause some issues. That might have been one of the reasons why Cordelia had a few little issues here or there as I would play it, is changing that from default might not be your best interest. But I've given myself a lot of points. I just carried over another save file because I think I've kind of found a sweet spot that works both for me in covering Carnivores content at a pace I'm okay with in that, as well as you guys, you just get more Carnivores content, which I think you always enjoy. So it's going to be that I'm going to keep kind of doing the thing of, I'll give myself a lot of points, go try to get trophies of the animals, but I'm not going to put, we're going to focus too hard on trying to progress through the mod as you would if you played on your own. Point being, there's a little bit of pressure to try to make sure you're always getting progress done per episode, and because of the way Carnivores is, if you don't return successfully from a hunt, you don't get any points back from anything you've downed on it. So that could basically mean an entire episode's worth of progress is lost on just not making a certain shot. It can be a bit the appeal of Carnivores of being a hardcore dinosaur hunter, but on the same token, when it comes to how I am playing in that, I think I need something a bit different for myself. So what we're going to do is just probably do maybe a couple of episodes per each map, or maybe even a bit more. Try to go after the roster, try to collect some things for the trophy room, show that off, and just enjoy a little peek at the Carnivores Fallen Kings right now. So for the dinosaur roster, we have the Muragaya, the Camptosaurus, the Eustreptopondylus, the Sinosaurus, Monoclonius, Iguanosaurus, the Ovinator, Baryonyx, and Torvosaurus. It's a much more cleaned up dinosaur roster than was in the previous builds of the game. And the weapons, I think they've been a little bit rehauled too. We've got the Camel Pistol, the Lever Action Shotgun, the Burst Rifle, the Revolver Rifle, the Scout Rifle, the Tactical Shotgun, and the Blunderbuss. Although, one thing I do see is a little odd here is that the double ammo has a cost to it. Normally, these sometimes do have a little bit of a change up to have a price to them. However, making the double ammo have a price always feels a little bit weird, because the point of it is kind of just to keep you out hunting more. So, I don't know, I feel like that would be the one that you would never really want to put a price tag on, whereas the others, even just a minor one, because they do have the point penalty, would be okay. Maybe what we'll do is we'll try maybe first 3 weapons and go after just the first 3 dinos for today's episode. Next episode, we can pick up the next 3, and then we can do another episode of the last 3, and then we can just do multiple things in other spots. But we'll give these first early weapons a try, see how they act up. I am curious about the burst rifle, because to be honest, this looks like a Tommy gun with a drum magazine to it. But yeah, let's check all this out, see how it goes, and hop into our first hunt right now. So this is Pristine Paradise. Okay, so we're loaded in here now. We'll just get the pistol ready in case. Ooh. Okay, so this version of the Mars Engine Edition does have the little bit of the thing, sort of like how Jurassic Park Hunter Legends Special Edition did, where the names and the text are a little janky. But so far, okay, I just want to be a bit careful. It's I'm hearing a lot of stuff around us scratching and... Okay, I think it is just, not quite endemic animals, but more just ambient animals around. But yeah, just all of a sudden hearing a lot of stuff around us had me a little on edge. So one of the things about the previous Fallen Kings builds before the Mars Engine Edition were the maps could be in kind of rough shape at times. Some of them were really... I know this one used to feel really cluttered and super dense with vegetation, so it was really hard to see in them. And then there's also another one where the map, it was a little too sharp at some of the angles for like the terrain, so it was a lot of you couldn't actually climb slopes too easily. But it looks like here, they have thinned the foliage out a bit on this one, so it is easier to see through it. And I'm pretty sure they redesigned this map, because I do not remember a map looking like this, where you have like almost a little archipelago of a few different ones together like this. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, you're taking a lot of shots to go down. There we go. So that was a M.E.E, which I believe... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Stegosaurus species. A little more aggressive than I was expecting to come across, though. But I'm guessing there might be a mortal zone system in place for this mod, just because of the amount of shots it took before it finally went down. You can kind of tell if it's a mortal zone mod... Actually, I should have spent more time in the menu, because I'm pretty sure there actually was a literal picture of where the mortal zones are for each species there. But yeah, one of the ways to tell if you don't have those charts is if the animals take a long time before they seem to go down from, like, body shots, you're probably dealing with something where there's a certain sweet spot you want to aim for more in particular. But the silence pistol, or the camo pistol here, did a pretty decent job, was able to put out a number of good rounds in quick succession. We'll have to try with the shotgun next. It looks like this might be I think it's actually a lever action. Just because of the little thing like that, it makes me think it's more of a lever action that you're pushing forward than a pump, but I'll have to take... Yeah, I'm definitely leaning to lever action. If it was a pump, we would have seen the left hand actually slide up and down. That's one thing that you have to really give to the animations for the people who come up with the weapon designs and the models. They really are thorough with them. Well, we got one animal for the trophy room already. I would love to be able to read that, but I can't exactly tell what the name is. Fenestrosaurus? Okay, yeah, so that did not have a little nameplate come up, so there are going to be some ambient animals that are just ambient animals. You won't get taken back to the trophy room. I do apologize to you, little guy, but I don't know if... See, I thought this was supposed to be a shotgun, but it didn't look like it had, like, the, pellet spread that I was expecting for a shotgun to have. Let me just take a little look, make sure that nothing is coming after us to end this hunt too early. Now, I might take another shot or two just at the dirt to see. Because it might be that this is actually, like, firing almost more of, like, a slug type of ammunition. Yeah, so it's... Oh, that's actually handy, too, is... Okay, my face is probably going to be blocking it, so I apologize to you guys, but when you do go through the call roster, normally in top right corner for the games, or actually maybe you guys will see it, you have, usually, like, it's a little picture and the name of what the species is you've got selected, but what they've done for Fallen Kings is they've actually had the mortal zone showing of what animal you have the call selected up to. So that gives me an idea of where to aim. So M.E.E, it's the head. Camptosaurus, I believe it is the head as well. And then... I can't remember what... Eustreptospondylus, I think it is. It's actually the, like, torso and underbelly. See, I'm not going to try to call anything right now. I'm just going to take a... Here's just another Fenestra. Yeah, that's just another ambient dino. Okay, let me take a shot here. Yeah, see, I think it's more like it's shooting a slug, almost. Because normally how the shotguns operate, and, I mean, it is a shotgun, everybody kind of gets the basic idea of it. It's a round with a lot of little pellets inside that blast out almost like a mowing pattern, or like a random pattern that's usually pretty destructive. However, maybe this is something where it's like such a large size caliber, it only has a single big pellet in it. So this is actually, I'd probably say, more rifle than shotgun. So I'll have to keep that in mind for when it comes to aiming, is that it's not going to be super close self-defense weapon. It might actually be better to treat it like a rifle. And truth be told, I'm probably going the wrong way if I want to see more animals and more of the map, because I'm just running towards the northern border here. What? Well, we'll work our way back and see if we can try calling out a Camptosaurus. Yeah, no reply, and I'm going to go for a bit of a jog. Carnivores Fallen Kings was always one of the mods that, again, it showed a little bit more of its roughness and that it needed development and that done to it. But so far, the beta is looking like it is very well polished up from what it was previously. Some of the designs or dinosaur designs do look a bit dated, like the Miragaia. It kind of resembled to me a little bit more of like an older style of model than we've been seeing with some more modern Carnivores mods. Well, if we did look in the menu at some of the later additions to the roster, like the Sinosaurus, those ones look much more up-to-date for what the modding community has been putting out. So I'm sure it's just kind of a little bit of using a few old assets to bring them in as placeholders while developing and changing stuff up. Again, I believe this is called a partial beta, as it was trying to implement some of the Modders Engine Edition stuff into it, but it's not at like a final full stage of full release. It's how a lot of Modders Engine Edition mods kind of are right now, is there's a lot of tweaking and stuff possible, so it's just kind of putting out these betas of what the work in progress is and proof of concepts. A little tease to get you excited and eager to see what else might be on its way. And I think it's going to do a great job of that, given just like how polished some of the experiences already are, like Cordelia was, Triplex was another one. That's actually one I should try getting back to, because that was a bit of a weird one where the Modders Engine Edition kind of worked, but not how it was, like, I think supposed to work. But with this new system of trying to tackle Carnivores content as, like, my shorter series on the channel, where it's only twice a week, I think that'll give me a better balance than if I was trying to do, like, 3 times per week and doing long series of the mods. It gives me a little bit more variety of some other content to be doing and enjoying, while also still keeping a little bit of what was, and may become again, a bit of a staple for the channel too. Okay, well, I kind of want to actually go up to the very top of this mountain here. I was thinking maybe going over the hill, but I think I'll have better odds of not running into anything at the top of this mountain. And then I could maybe get a little bit of a look around to see what is in the surrounding area here. Yeah, so far, this is a pretty good beginner map. It's not too hilly, so that way you have a lot of terrain to be dealing and fighting with. The foliage, it's dense, but it's not too dense. Although it does feel like well, it might be just be to try to stop me from climbing up this. Because I thought it looked a little more smoother than it was, but it is still a little bit stark in the terrain geometry, so I won't be climbing up the mountain too easily. So we'll just have to work at walking around and keeping to the danger areas, perhaps. But I can't remember which map it was. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was the beginner map or a deeper map in, but there was one map there were a lot more sharp slopes that it didn't look like you wouldn't be able to go up them, but they was just enough of the geometry that the player couldn't. So we'll have to keep going through and see what these maps are like, because I mean, if they've all gotten the same treatment this initial map has gotten, I think we're in for a very good experience down the line. Okay, so we do got a Camptosaurus. Oh, right, I have to hold the crouch. I think that's another change from the Modders Engine Edition. I don't believe you had to hold crouch in the mods before. I could be mistaken. But I think it was kind of like Shift, where you would press it once, and you would just go into crouch mode. You didn't have to hold it. Oh, okay, it says it's... yeah, right out there, although, truth be told, it may... It actually might be a couple up there. Yeah, there's one right there, and I thought I saw one moving back there still. Now, I don't want to move too much. I'm going to try to practice a little bit more patience from my other hunting series I've done and just see how they pay off for me. Yeah, it seems like it's working. They are coming in steadily. Although I think that's it running off. Yeah, it didn't come in at me, so that one is more of a passive animal. Okay, well, we'll keep going a little further. Again, or maybe I should be treating this actually like a shotgun, it's just it has one powerful shot. I'm not too sure. I like to at least try to get one animal with each of the weapons we have for the roster we picked today. But Saurian, actually that's probably something I should do as a YouTube post, is just to help bring attention to it. Is that Saurian did put out a video recently of the 5-minute crash fix. And I would highly recommend, if you guys are having any mods that do have that 5-minute crash happening, to check out and see if you can install the fix. I did it for... I can't remember. I don't think I had to do it for Cordelia. I think for some reason that mod, it worked just fine. There was no problems. But when it came back to going back to Jurassic Park Hunter Legends Special Edition, it worked just fine for me. Okay, sounds like directly north is where we want to go looking. Actually, one thing I should check in the settings is if I am using Direct 3D or 3DFX Glide for the video settings. I can't remember which one is supposed to be... I believe for before Modders Engine Edition, it was supposed to be the 3DFX Glide was better than the 2, but I don't know if that's changed with the Modders Engine Edition. Oh, well, that's a good sign. I actually got a hit with one of our shots. And... okay, going from the map, unfortunately, it looks like they found one of the land bridges. It's not just like a little point that they're not going to be able to come along. Oh. Well, look at you, you little tiny one. I guess that's one thing Mars Engine Edition can allow is varying sizes of this ambient animals in pretty drastic ways. And I don't think hiding in the bush will actually help us anymore, but... yeah, that is one change I admit I kind of preferred, was you didn't have to hold crouch. You could just press it and it'd be a toggle. But, again, memory is kind of betraying me, because I can't remember if it was in these mods. You could just toggle it with a press, or you did have to hold it the entire time. I know to run, it's actually just a toggle. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start braving my way up there. Without being able to visually see how far off what I'm calling is. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll take... ooh, lots of ammo for this, which, I mean, makes sense if it is a drum magazine. Just in case I get a bit of a closer call than I'm planning on for trying to go after these Camptosaurus. Oh. Are you what I was hearing footsteps of? Actually, what are you? Hypeliophodon. Okay, it's somewhere over here. Yeah, I just want this because it's going to let me get out a lot of shots quickly, and if I am stumbling upon what could be well, provoked animal, I shouldn't say aggressive. If I provoke it and it comes after us, this might be my best bet in just getting one lucky shot off of the mortal zone. Okay, and it is a burst fire weapon, so what that basically means is every time I pull the trigger, it's automatically shooting a number of shots out. Okay, there we go. So we got a Miragaia and a Camptosaurus so far. Maybe we'll try for Eustreptospondylus too, although I might have scared everything off with the shots I've taken, but we'll just see. Okay, no replies, although kind of expected because of, again, just what I was doing. Yeah, well, I saw the trophy ship coming in. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let that snag that. I don't know where that other Camptosaurus is. I don't know... Oh, actually, there it is. I wonder if I could actually cut it off and we can just use the burst rifle to try and get it down. Okay, the blood is over here, so it probably has kept going. And you know what? Just in case it comes up over the hill and surprises me, let's be ready. Yeah, it still is pretty steep towards the water line in some areas. I'm not sure if that's a good idea with how carnivores can be or not, but as long as there's like some slopes in that for you to come back up, I guess it's not too bad. Yeah, just another Fenestrosaurus or whatever, so don't have to worry about you. Okay, didn't have any reply from that, so I'm just going to keep going a bit more. And... okay, that's... I mean, I doubt I get a long shot, but I'm kind of just tempted to try. Okay, so this actually will hold 6 shots at a time. Yeah, I think that's way off. And you know what? I'll take the 2 trophies just so that way we got something and end our first episode of Fallen Kings here. Okay, we're just going to finish off the episode with a little bit of a preview in the trophy room. Or maybe, because everything just froze for a moment. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so back to a very classic-styled Carnivores trophy room. And yeah, again, I mean, actually, the detail on the eye makes me think this might be an updated texture at least, but the model does make me think it's a little more aged in some regards too. Like, perhaps the body texture might have a little bit more work done just to make it a little bit sharper. But it does feel like the Camptosaurus here and the Miragaia might be carryovers from, like, the earlier versions of Fallen Kings. When we go back next episode and look at the Dinosaur roster, you'll probably be able to compare some of the animals and see, like, these are probably carryovers from the older versions, and these are new ones brought in for it. But we've at least got a little bit of a start towards Fallen King's roster. We got to show off a couple of weapons, got successful harvest with 2. Overall, I don't think too bad for a start for a new series. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Carnivores Fallen Kings. If you did like the video, you should give it a like. And if you guys want to pick up the mod for yourself, as always, I try to include a download link in the description of the video below. And if you have any other comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave them in the comments down there as well. Until I see you all in the next video or episode, survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.